What's going on? Welcome into NFL Daily, presented by Man Crates. I am Cam Rogers. That guy right there is Tom Downey. Jam-packed show, my friend. A lot to get through.
Well, good stuff, too.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Absolutely. Let's go through the latest injuries here because we need to keep you updated on what's going on.
Yeah, quite a few this week.
Yeah, let's go to the offensive line for Tampa Bay. Donovan Smith, Tom.
A lot of O-line guys for whatever reason today. So Donovan Smith out 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained knee. Means his week 1 status is in doubt. I'm not the biggest Donovan Smith guy, but he's been a reliable starter. Started every NFL game for the Bucs at left tackle. And they've got, let's just say, limited depth on the offensive line, Cam. The next guy up is Leonard Wester and his sub-90 career snaps.
That's not enough.
That's what you want when your starting quarterback is already out and you've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, is to have a backup left tackle in there.
That's rough.
Yeah, don't bet on the Bucs in week 1.
There you go. All right, Donovan Smith. Hopefully he can get healthy again for Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, with Matt Kalil and his knee, Carolina can't catch a break, Tom.
If I was a Panthers fan, I would have been done with Matt Kalil a while ago, but I'd just be even more done right now. So, he's had a terrible camp in preseason, has not been very good the past few years, was wildly overpaid. Frankly, Cam, this might be the worst contract in all of the NFL. Like, it is that bad. They're paying him as one of the top left tackles in the game, and he is not even a quality starter at this point in his career. Now he got a second opinion on his right knee from Dr. James Andrews. Andrews says, you know what, go get a knee scope. So now he is week to week, and I think there's a good chance he doesn't play in week 1, which means it'll either be Blaine Clausen or Jeremiah Searles. And guess what? Neither of those guys is very good. Oh, by the way, don't forget that their left guard is also out, leaving a undrafted free agent and Brendan Mahone in there as your starter. And Darrell Williams is also hurt right now.
I'm scared for Cam Newton.
And they might go put Moton on the left side if Kalil misses time too. This offensive line has gone from pretty darn good to all of a sudden, thanks to injuries and the loss of Norwell, to, oh boy, this is not that great.
Yeah, Cam Newton's going to be running wild, at least during the beginning part of the regular season. Meanwhile, with Travis Frederick, the initial reports were pretty positive for him. Recently had a second opinion to really get some sort of health plan going.
So there's 2 ways to look at this. The report from the Dallas Morning News was that he might need surgery, that surgery hasn't been ruled out for Travis Frederick. And they put that in the headline. It was actually kind of buried, and it was really kind of more of a logic loop of nothing has been decided, therefore nothing has been ruled out, therefore he could get surgery. Even though surgery doesn't seem like it's actually all that likely right now. So I would be surprised if there was surgery for Travis Frederick, so don't panic at that Dallas Morning News headline, but we'll make note of it, and hopefully he is healthy because the backup guys right now for the Cowboys, not great.
Well, what do you do if you're Dallas if Frederick's going to miss the first few games?
Cry. In reality, you play Joe Looney at center and see what happens, and hope that the interior of Zach Martin and Connor Williams and those tackles can make up for it, because you need both those guys out there. Because right now, Cam Fleming didn't look that great against the Bengals, had issues in the pass rush. Kadeem Edwards is your next best interior guard. He's not that great, and Chaz Green has been, as Cowboys fans know, a complete disaster.
Well, Chaz Green.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, folks, we are presented by Man Crates. Do you know an awesome guy who needs a gift? At Man Crates, gifts are carefully curated, like a museum, but actually exciting. They've got personalized barware, jerky, grams, and project kits ready to delight any guy out there. The website is mancrates.com. They are awesome gifts guys love. Let's continue along with the latest injuries here. Sticking with the offensive line, the left tackle for Baltimore, Ronnie Stanley. The injury, very mild, should be fine.
How concerned were you when he went down against the Colts?
Well, I saw the update, and I was like, for crying out loud, like my heart skipped a beat because Joe needs his left tackle. So if you take a look at the Baltimore Ravens offensive line, I mean, the interior is a little concerning for me with Alex Lewis and Matt Skura. Skura has been iffy at center, and Lewis is coming off an injury.
And it's kind of played everywhere, too. Hasn't been settled into one particular spot.
Meanwhile, Ronnie Stanley there at left tackle, he's probably one of the more reliable players on that front five. So important news there for Baltimore. Let's talk about Casey Hayward. The Chargers can't catch a break in that secondary, Tom. This guy is a premier corner.
I think they might have. Casey Hayward probably can one of the most underrated corners in all of the NFL. He suffered a hamstring injury in practice. Now, Hayward told head coach Anthony Lynn that he'd be fine, but we don't know the exact severity so far. Hopefully he is fine, because the Chargers have the worst injury luck out there. Already lost 4 guys for the year, 3 of whom were either going to make the roster and be starters or just make the roster.
And people are picking them for the Super Bowl. It's like, what are you doing?
Injuries.
Meanwhile, with Seattle, J.D. McKissic, injury with him, out 4 to 6 weeks.
First off, new favorite player. If you can't tell there, he has the Batman symbol tattooed right under his neck. Love it. But McKissic has a Jones fracture in his foot with that, more or less, is Cam. It's a break, more or less, between the pinky toe and the base of the actual foot. So kind of like a stress fracture, but a little bit further up, closer to the actual ankle on the foot itself. He might be placed on IR. So, of course, you have Chris Carson. Rashad Penny should be good to go for week 1. Mike Davis looks like he's kind of locked into the number 3 role. This might actually save CJ Prosise, who was on the verge of not making the roster. With some other injuries, Seattle might try and take 4 halfbacks, at least to start the year.
Well, this backfield for Seattle, one of the more interesting storylines to watch for in the NFL this year, because there's so much turnover, so much change, it seems.
And question marks overall.
Absolutely.